Oh, all right.
Okay. Yeah, we're back online.
Yep, we're back. Yeah, and
Okay.
you said we were talking about the your we were the operation you were doing right there, or they were doing in Mozambique, Rhodesia, and so forth.
Yeah. So, and then around about, I think, August, September of 1987, there was a huge offensive uh, starting in Angola towards the southeast of Angola, where the headquarters for Jonas Savimbi was,
Mm-hmm.
UNITA.
Yep.
Uh, and we realized that we need to go and help him because he was backed by the US and us, and they would try to get rid of the regime in Angola, which is
Mm-hmm.
communist orientated. And so, yeah, and then we had the big army in there as well, but first special forces to report on what's happening, and then the build up, because there was a huge onslaught from a combined effort from the MPLA and Russia and the Cubans. The Cubans
Mm-hmm.
were mostly the pilots and also advisors, but there was about well, a couple of thousand Cubans there involved, and also
Yeah.
about 300 Russian advisors in that offensive. But we were able to stop that, and there was actually a mass killing and slaughter of Angolans and Cubans,
Yeah.
which is sad to say because a lot of them were Christians too.
Yeah.
They had no choice; they had to go and fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, that came to a grinding halt with the signing of a peace treaty by the UN. It was called UN Resolution 435, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, and part of that treaty was Russians withdraw from Angola, so Cubans and South Africa must withdraw from Namibia,
Mm-hmm.
so that there can be a normal election in Namibia, and that they, well, in that time, Southwest Africa, which was controlled by South Africa, since I think just after the Second World War.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
there was a UN mandate for that, as I recall.
yeah, that was right, because it used to be a former German colony.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but in any case, and that's what we did. And then at that time, I was end of '88. I was called and transferred to 5 Ricky,
Mm-hmm.
which is mostly a black elite special forces unit.
Yeah.
And so I was transferred there. I knew everybody, most of the people, so it was easy transfer for me. And I was close at home to my mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to be back in the area where I grew up in, basically.
Yeah. Hey,
Uh,
that brings up a point. There's a lot of people that don't in the West don't realize that there were a lot of black South African Defense Force guys.
oh yeah. Look, 5 Special Forces Regiment only had white leadership.
Yeah.
Like I had a 20-man black team with me, and so does others.
Yeah.
That was elite soldiers. I mean, that was the cream of the crop in the world. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that. They were fearless fighters. As I said, some of the very, very best.
Yeah.
Much of respect to those guys. And yeah, it was an honor for me also to go and serve there. Maybe not long, but then we ended up in April '89, where we had 3,000 soldiers on the first, well, 3,000 Swalpa soldiers on the 1st of April that literally marched from Angola right into Namibia. And we used to call that, the short war.
Yeah.
Because we had to get up from Palabora Drive all the way up. It took us 4 days, almost day-night driving to get up to the operational area in Namibia. And by that time, we got there was just the end of that, because they got annihilated by the Kufut, the Special Police Unit,
Yeah.
which did an excellent job.
The crowbar.
Yeah, Crowbar.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and that came to an end, went back to the unit, and about July, just over a long weekend, I end up on a farm not too far from there on the banks of the Olifants River. And a guy said to me, look, this is German that bought a farm. He's looking for farm manager. I said, well, maybe I should apply. I said, why not? I applied for the job and I got it straight away. Not ever thinking of leaving Special Forces.
Yeah.
It just came over my road. And at that time, as I said, the war ended for us. There was nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
So I think that's what kept us going. There was always another mission. And for some missions, we would plan and work for up to 6 months.
Yeah.
Training and training and training before you end up doing the mission. And and that's what we love to do, is just being busy, and we had excellent times, from urban raids to coastal raids or land operations, shooting down aircraft, laying ambushes. I mean, we just had the best of the world for us.
Yeah.
And that one mission even used Pumas to land on a blacktop road, and with scrambler motorbikes, 2 guys on a bike just went in the last 10 kilometers, hit a target in Livingston, and the guys were out.
Yeah.
With that, nobody knew where it come from, what happened, what the hell, why can the forces didn't pick it up?
Yeah.
It was just the ability of special force to strike so far away from South African mainland to conduct the operation and get back without anybody knowing what happened.
Yeah, you guys were phenomenal.
And that was all good to, good training and also good intel by our own special forces guys.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't use any other intel networks. It was done by our own guys.
Yeah.
Much respect to those guys that we were excellent in those things. And I mean, we were at that time we conducted raids which seemed to be impossible, but we pulled it off.
Yes, you did. You guys were literally the MacB SOG of the 80s, or the JSOC.
Oh yeah. And you got to remember, there was no internet and things those days that you could link up. We had the arms embargo. We had nobody to rely on or give info or help us with training manuals and urban warfare or this type of thing. It was just trial and error and keep on training. And as I said, most of the raids, 99% were nighttime raids, not daytime. So, but yeah, it went well. We lost some people, but very little. And if you take upon how many enemy losses occurred due to our direct actions or indirect actions where we were involved.
I was always impressed by every South African vet that I came across. I was very impressed, and just solid and professional. I mean, you guys are stellar. And I was
as I said, it was due to good instructors and good training.
I was your token American for a while.
Well, yeah, I was privileged to work with you guys and to work with some Navy SEALs. Up in the sand pit. And yeah, it was awesome times, and also learned a lot from you guys because you had the latest technology.
Yeah. Well,
it was good times, and yeah, we made it out together. I mean, it was not easy in those beginning days.
It was a lot of fun those days. It was dangerous, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But you said you started, you became a farm manager, and you started to transition. How did you become, into becoming a PH or professional hunter, or PH, and then into the safari business?
At that time, the ranch which I started to build up, it was an old cattle ranch. It was just there for 20 years. Nobody attended. Maybe once a year, the owner will come and just have a look. There was no more cattle on there. It was just a couple of wildlife. So I started to do that. And then the owner said to me, look, I liked a little bit of hunting. I said, well, in that case, if I take you out and you want to send some of his colleagues and friends, I'll have to go and do my guide license. And I did that. And then I ended up, taking some of his friends on elephant hunt and mostly buffalo hunt. And so from there, it just escalated. And then when I left the farm, I said, well, I got all the knowledge in the world now. Why not venture into this business? But for that, you needed a farm, which I didn't have. And you needed land. And so I realized quick, you need to jump out to make some money to start your own venture. And that's why I met you.
Well, yeah.
Because we went up there, make a little bit of bucks, come down, and well, I took you to the ranch in those days, and you were right in the beginning with me when I was still opening up the borders of that hunting concession in Mozambique.
What I remember most that day, you said we were going for 5 miles, and I think we went 12. And
you're right, there and back.
And back, yeah. And we got out there halfway out there, and you were telling me like the elephants. You said the difference between real charge and false charge. And had you put? I said, well, I think I said, well, how do you know if how do you know it's a false charge? And you said, we don't.
No, by looking at their behavior and the flapping of their ears and things, you can see if it's a false charge. But normally when they're in musk, you'll see, because here from the gland between the eye and the ear, There will be a lot of musk, and there will be between the hind legs, there will be some drippings. Then they're pretty much aggressive. You don't like to be in near them. We were just in the right time there, because that time we didn't have rifles on the concession yet.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, ooh, this is interesting.
And it was in the rainy season, so they were all over spread out because it was the
Yeah,
beginning of the rainy season. They didn't have to walk just direction to get to water.
yeah,
There was water all over in the field, so we were good to go, cleared.
yeah.
Um,
Well, and another thing that was fascinating was you showed me the world's biggest porcupines, man. I was impressed by that walk. I was like, that's a Great Dane. No,
yeah, yeah, it was good. I forgot many things about it now that you mentioned that. Yeah, that's just and I had some friends that would go and crawl up to them and beat them on the snout of the fist, and they will be dead. Um,
that's
but I
funny.
never felt the urge to do it myself.
Yeah, yeah. That was some good. That was some wild stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. When my trip there it's with you. Could you tell my viewers kind of what your operations are in
Okay.
Southern Africa as far as the hunting?
So we were looking for a proper area where we conduct hunts with, which is not too far from where you needed supplies. Because if you start an operation, you need building supplies,
Mm-hmm.
you need food supplies, most of all, you need water. So we got the perfect area, but there was no water. So we realized we had to drill wells. We had to look for drilling machine, drill wells, but you couldn't drill a well before you establish the boundaries of your area.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what when you came, we were still establishing boundaries, open up roads and how to get there. And after that, we had to bring in somebody to show us where to drill, because you can't just drill anywhere.
Yeah.
You need knowledge and expertise. So we did that with a South African guy that did an excellent job, appointed us a couple of places. So in the beginning, we wanted to drill 4 holes, but we ended up 9 wells in the farm and one at the village, which is just off the property. We have no villages on our property or the
Mm-hmm.
concession. And yeah, from there on, that was another wild ride, and it cost a lot more than we anticipated. But without water, you got no wildlife.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah,
then
well,
we equipped the farm. Well, we equipped the boreholes first. We had to take generators to pump, but that was costly.
yeah.
And then we realized as things were progressing fast with solar energy, we were able to get the best German pumps to pump water. Even on a cloudy day, we'll pump water.
Oh, wow.
And what we did, we were lucky at little natural lakes and natural ponds. That's where we drilled. We got good water. And slowly the animals start to realize, hey, but there's always water now here. So they didn't go back up and down, look for water. They start to stay on the farm.
Well,
And
just to clarify for our viewers, I mean, in America, what size of farm? The farm you're talking about in Mozambique is like over 100,000 acres.
yeah, that was it ended up about 70,000 acres. They took
Yeah,
some property away in the north. So we
yeah,
ended up with but wild land, no fences, nothing's
yeah.
wild and open. It's
Wow.
free range. We talk about free range.
Yeah. And I remember when I was there, we were talking about leopards one night. You said you thought there was like one leopard around there, and now there's a bunch.
Yeah, that's just around our camp. There's a huge tomcat that's roaming the area around the camp.
Yeah.
But I mean, as there's more and more antelopes and a lot more food, because it's all about food. So we got leopards in abundance on there. And also they got poached and poisoned before. But
Yeah.
now that we got a proper anti-poaching unit, a ranger unit, and all it does is day and night is anti-poaching, listening posts, and also patrols day and night, and a small reaction force. Things have changed for the better. And the poachers knows they can poach south and north, but not on our property.
Yeah.
And currently we're in a good position where we are in high discussion and a good discussion with the government to get a trans-frontier park getting on with Zimbabwe and more land for conservation, but also for utilization. We will still go on hunting, but there will be a lot more land for conservation and bigger areas for the animals to walk in, because the elephant, we were able to collar 4 elephants, 2 males, 2 females. And this past year in August, we tried to collar a lion, a big male lion, So we can see the walking pattern where they go to, because not far from us, eastern side, is another national park in Mozambique. And we tried to establish then a corridor from there to Park Zanaf, or Banin Park. There's two parks. And from there back down to South Africa to the Transfrontier Park, which is not far from there.
Yeah.
So conservation is growing in Mozambique, which is fantastic. But yeah, if it wasn't for our guys in anti-poaching, there would have been nothing, because you know the locals will just come and poach and keep on poaching because there's ivory. As long as there's ivory, they will poach.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things I think a lot of people in the West don't realize is that you made the animals, yourself and you make them an economic necessity for the local people, as opposed to being something that comes and destroys their crops. And
yeah, well, look, the animals will come in just in the rainy season. That's when they plant crops. So, and then the elephant go and destroy their crops.
Yeah.
But now that we take care of them, I mean, if we do hunt an elephant or a buffalo, they get all the meat. The meat get taken to the village. We handed everything over to them. So now we control and we help them to protect their crops, but also they have an income because they work for us.
Yeah.
And we also build a school for them. And every year we you know, the one year we had doctors from the US, 3 doctors and 3 nurses, and we turned the school into a clinic.
Yeah.
You know, to treat them, and we had a lot of glasses that they fitted in for them, and a lot of allergy medication, which you guys brought from the US. So there's a lot of good things happening. The school was initially built for 32 kids. There's now 134 kids at the school.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, things are progressing. We're looking at building a clinic very shortly.
Yeah.
And to extend the school, and you know, also to make sure that everybody is happy.
Yeah.
Because the more work we do, the more animals and the more meat, more animals, more meat they get to the village.
Yeah.
So they don't have to go and risk their lives and putting up snares or putting out poison to get meat. Because the elephant poaching is mostly just for the tusk.
Yeah.
So the rest of the carcass, they will cover with branches, because the vultures will show there's a dead animal. We'll go immediately out to look. But now they cover it. So 6 tons of meat just goes rotten.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible waste.
Yeah. And before, they will take some chunks of the meat and put poison in. So you'll get the vultures dead. You'll get the hyena, jackal. You know, the secondary effect of killing is just very bad.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, but and unfortunately, and only lately Mozambique is getting on board with the anti-poaching, and they got good leaders. I just met him in a meeting in Maputo, the new guy for anti-poaching in Mozambique, which we directly falls under, but we have our own game rangers, which is good. I mean, a lot of good things happening in Mozambique, which is good for conservation. It's excellent.
Yeah.
Because you must remember, Mozambique is one of the last frontiers where there's miles of open beaches, nothing is still untamed, most beautiful, blue, light blue waters, beautiful walking beaches. And on the other side, not far from there, you got all the big 5.
Yeah.
Well, not 100%, but the big 4.
Yeah.
There's no rhinos there, only certain places. There's rhinoceros, but with us, we got lots. We even got cheetahs, wild dogs, but before it wasn't in that area.
Yeah.
But
well,
because there's food now, they reproduce, and it's beautiful to see that.
I was the amount of animals that I just saw roaming around. I was there, and that's been well over a decade ago. You know, was phenomenal, and I want to go back and see it again. So, so you've got elephant, you've got buffalo,
lions, leopard, cheetah.
You got lions now. Okay. All right.
We got cheetah, we got wild dogs, hyena,
Yeah.
and lots of other antelopes in the farm that wasn't there before. But we created a safe area for them to stay and breed.
And I think a lot of Americans, especially the ones who they grow up in an urban area or whatever, they don't appreciate what wildlife is. I remember we were talking one time, and you and your wife and your son were up there in Mozambique messing around or something, and you were out looking at a pond.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going.
That was on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Late afternoon, we stopped at a water hole, to have a little bit of sightseeing and to watch what's coming in to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And our thing is when we stop at a water hole, we'll walk around to look for tracks, what came in to drink during last night and things.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a little small wine or something and a couple of snacks, biscuits and things to eat just to relax. And
Yeah.
my son started to walk and he was about 100 yards away. And my wife said, what is he doing? I said, well, leave him. He's just walking around. She said, no, I don't like it. She
Mm-hmm.
called him back. And when he was just about 40 yards back from the vehicle, she said, there's something there just on the other side. Not far from me, turned around, and there was a lioness that set up. She was flat, laying down and waiting for him in ambush. An act of God that, she said she doesn't like it. Now, I think it's a mother sixth sense, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, sorry to fall out. And yeah, we got him there. And the lioness sneaked on the other side, but low down behind the brush, coming to get from the other side closer to us.
Oh.
But at that time, we're in the vehicle. I mean, as you know, at that time, we didn't have any rifles on the ranch. We were just, I walked around. You were with me when we walked 12 miles, no rifles.
Yeah, no, and I was like,
I mean, it's, the bush is neutral. As long as you know your way around and not to mess with them, the bush is neutral. It's not just there for getting attacked.
Could you tell our viewers, like we were talking about that buffalo hunt that you did, that's really scary. It made me nervous just listening to it, but could you tell that story?
Yeah, Ed was a PH from the Eastern Cape, which had an American client, fantastic people. There was actually two clients. And we were buffalo hunting. That was sort of, I think, 2014 around. I couldn't remember exactly. But yeah, we were hunting buffalo. And that morning we spooked it. The wind turned and the buffalo got our smell and ran away. I said, well, let's go back to camp. We'll have a brunch, take a small siesta, and then we'll go take the tracks. Because it will cross a road on the other side. We will find it. Of course, we do not have that much roads.
No.
But we went up. I say, this is the buffalo. And that's a good thing about our trackers. They can tell you this is the track we followed this morning. How they do it, I don't know. But they just have the ability to read the signs. So yeah, we followed it. And late afternoon, just before it was time sort of to say, hey, let's move back because the pickup was quite some miles away from there. The track just appeared, just out of the blue. We were following. I mean, we were hot on the track. We knew it was close by. And we couldn't get. So when you lose a track, the first thing you do is do a small 360, then a little bit bigger circle, and then a little bit bigger circle. And we couldn't find. I said, right, well, it's going to be dark soon. It's wintertime. Let's walk straight to the road. And then the pickup is just another 3 miles up the road. That's fine. Because you don't want to be in the bush during dark hours. It's all right to be on the road because you can't trip, slip, or fall. So, and then the client was unloading his rifle. We said, no, don't unload. And literally, it was not 2 minutes later. We walked straight into the buffalo where he was lying down. So we had a little tripod up and the client shot, but I think he shot it a little backwards. It was just through the lungs, not a hard and long shot. We could hear a hit, but it disappeared into the brush and the trees. And then we were standing and we could hear it about 200 yards away. It was coughing. Because they tried to get the blood out of the lungs. By doing that, they will cough and you could hear the buffalo. So, well, we got to act on that. We sneaked up closer and just through the brush, there was a small opening. I said, look, it doesn't matter where it's on the body of the buffalo. Just hit straight through the small opening just to slow it down. Because we're running out of daylight. You don't want to be in the bush with a wounded buffalo somewhere in here. I mean, that's looking for trouble.
Yeah.
So he put another one, I think, which is through the stomach, and we could hear it running off. And I said, well, now it's not going to help to sneak up quietly. We need to get that thing in. But the best is just to make a noise, talk and go up. Line abreast, 3 of us, 2 PHs, or 2 guides, and the client. I said, be ready, right up, one up, finger on the trigger. But we were in shrub, Mupani shrub, which is just about a foot taller than I am. So I couldn't see. Me and the client, we were the same height. So we couldn't see. So, and at one stage, it's right, it's coming. We can hear it's coming, but we could not see it. And then about 6 yards in front of us, the brush would open, and then all three of us just simultaneously shot at it, and it literally turned right in front of us.
Yeah.
Made a sharp right turn, and as it was running away, we shot it more, and it fell down. But I tell you, the adrenaline was pumping, and the client said, "Well, I need to shoot another one. I have enough adrenaline now." I said, "Don't make jokes. We're good to be alive, mate." And but yeah, it was close encounter, man. 2 yards is not a good distance. I mean, that's about 500-600 kilograms on full speed, and luckily, buffalo is almost the same height as I am, so when it runs, it will bounce up and down. So you could just aim straight. That's why I think I told you before, when you hunt a wounded lion, you'll see that the guys go down on the knee to be the same height as the lion. So you don't have to adjust, because any animal charging, it goes up and down. So you're sort of on the same line, your alignment's already there. But yeah, we were blessed, we got it, and nobody was injured, but that was a close call.
Yeah. I don't think most Americans realize how resistant a Cape buffalo is, because I know you run a 458 Win Mag. What were the other hunters? Were these the same caliber?
Oh, the other PH, the guy that brought the client from the Eastern Cape, he was using, I think, a 505 Gibbs. That's even bigger.
Oh, that's a double one.
No, singles. You get them double, but single, yeah.
Okay.
And the client, mostly the clients bring 375, Holland and Holland. That's a minimum caliber in Mozambique at South Africa for Big 5.
Yeah.
But remember, you can put it down with one shot. If it's a nice clear shot, you can put it down with one shot.
Yeah.
But for us, when we shoot, it means you're following wounded buffalo. I do not want to go onto a bigger caliber than a 458, because then it's too big for me to shoot.
Yeah.
And the recoil will put you out of alignment, because sometimes you need to quickly shoot again.
You need to get a follow-up shot.
Yeah, for me, 458 is perfect. And so it works 100% fine. And we shoot solids. We don't shoot soft noses, just a 500 grain monolithic solid. That's what I shoot. Because you want that impact to put it straight down.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Cape buffalo are notorious for, if they're wounded and the adrenaline's up, they just soak up round after round after round.
Oh, it's like they just absorb the round. They don't care nothing. They're just going like a steamroller. They tough as nails, especially if that adrenaline's pumping. I can tell you, my partner Wayne, which is I mean, since school days, after school, he started to hunt. He had a close encounter too with a buffalo that was laying down, and just about 15 yards, but facing away from them. And he told the client, put it right in there. He said, when that shot rang, it was a perfect shot, hard long. He said, when the shot ran out, that thing was like a ping pong rubber ball. And one stride, it got up, turned in there, and zoomed straight and came for them straight. There was no hesitation. It knew exactly where the shot came from. It was like a bullet just charging on them. And luckily, they also had proper rifles and put it down before it reached them. But yeah, that happens, eh? That's why we're hunting. It's a dangerous game. But it's for me, it's the best hunt. It's buffalo hunt. Just love it.
Yeah, and you've also got a lot on your place there. I mean, you were talking about all the antelope and all the other stuff that y'all have to hunt as well.
Oh yeah, we got some excellent kudu, nyala, impala, smaller warthogs, and smaller Sunni, and common duiker, steenbok. We have other antelope like blue wildebeest, zebra. Unfortunately, blue wildebeest we haven't a lot. There's not a lot, so we do not hunt them yet. And also same with roan antelope and sable. We do not have a lot, but they started to breed. So we're saving them. We do not want to hunt them now, because we want them to breed more and more. Remember, when we started there was almost no buffalo, no elephants. We even got, the one day we counted up to 27 giraffes. Which in the beginning there was almost no giraffes. We got ostriches. So yeah, the animals are breeding and breeding. The last count on buffalo was about 1,000 buffalo in that area. Which is, it shows, our program is working. That's what we want. We want the program to work.
Well, hey, Cornelius, can you talk to your friend? Because you come in every year for the Dallas Safari Club show. And could you talk to our televiewers a little bit about it and how, if somebody's down in Dallas and wants to come and with you and talk hunting, or
Mhm.
maybe buy you a beer, talk jumping out of airplanes and hunting bad guys. But
Yeah, you know, we got this concession, and in 2003, I ended up in Mozambique, central part of Mozambique. A client here from the US called me up, said, "Hey, I got your number from somebody. I'm going to do a hunt, but the guy said I must call you because I'm a bow hunter. You need to guide me."
mhm,
And I said, "I don't have a problem, but talk to me about your hunt." He said, "Well, I'm going to hunt buffalo or leopard, whatever comes first." He said, "Can you guarantee me success?" I said, "No, hell no, never. I
yeah,
can't do that. Not on a bow." I said,
mhm,
"Not even with rifle hunting." I said, "That, you know, hunting is unpredictable. The
mhm,
one day everything is there, the next day you can just walk miles and miles and don't see anything." But
mhm,
that's why we hunt, because there might be a surprise around a tree, around a brush. Uh,
mhm,
and he said, "Well, I want you to come and hunt with me." While I was there, the owner of the concession, which is just basically the northern border of the concession, was the mighty Zambezi River, which is
mhm,
a beautiful area too. He said, "Look, do you have another hunt on after this one?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, I got more clients flying in. Do you mind to do that buffalo hunt to me?" I said, "No, that's fine. I would love to do it."
mhm,
And then I met somebody that was on the board of Dallas Safari Club,
mhm,
um, Bob and Celia Scott. I met them. I had the opportunity to meet them and said, "Why don't you come to Dallas?" And they arranged for me to go to Dallas. And the next year I was here. That was August. And then 2004 was the
yeah,
first time I came to Dallas. I think I missed 2 years now with the COVID.
yeah,
I missed 2 years. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. And then, yeah, I started to join Dallas Safari Club, became a lifelong member.
yeah,
Uh, so the whole deal is to come here. It's a 4-day show starting on Thursday the 5th until Sunday the 8th. And yeah, it's a beautiful show. I think it's one of the best shows in the US, it's Dallas Safari Club. And I just want to tell the viewers or guys going to look at this that they are heavily involved in Africa with anti-poaching projects,
mhm,
not only in the US training up kids about conservation, but in Africa and in Southern Africa, they got a lot of projects where they fund anti-poaching projects.
mhm,
Uh, and that's all because of hunters.
yeah.
So yeah, it will be nice. Unfortunately, don't have the name of the company is Rovuma and Mutemba Safaris.
I'm gonna put all that stuff in a link
Yeah,
on there of your phone number and contact information and website.
yeah,
The website,
and
guys, check the website out. It's cool.
the guys are welcome to come and join us in the show. And I'm also looking forward to seeing you again,
All
uh,
right, we might have to
joining
do
me on
this.
there. And yeah, as I said, it's all for the good. Just want to tell the viewers that, you know, when we started in Mozambique, there was nothing.
Mhm,
I had to take every bag of cement, every liter of fuel, diesel or benzene. I had to cart from South Africa. There
mhm.
was nothing. And there was no animals. Today, there's animals in abundance. And it costs a lot of money. But yeah, it will take me years to get my investment back. But it's not about the investment.
Mhm.
It's about building up to be part of an area there was nothing before. Now there's wildlife in abundance. And
And
most certainly, I won't reap the benefits. Hopefully, my kids will be involved in the future with that. And it's about the future of Africa and also about the animals, to preserve animals.
well, I can't. I want to go back so badly. I think about, like I told you, I said I probably think about it once a week,
Yeah,
and maybe more. Uh,
yeah. It's been a
especially
decade ago that I had you last in
if
Africa,
I
maybe
if
longer.
if I drank rum, I definitely think about it a lot. But I will see. I'll tell you what. I'll see you on Saturday when we get down there, and we'll definitely look you up. I'm gonna get this video worked out and get it posted. And you guys, like I said, I'm gonna have Cornelius's links to his website and phone number and wait. And hopefully, uh, if you ever want an experience of a lifetime, go to Southern Africa with this man right here, and it'll be something you'll remember the rest of your life. And
Well, thank you for allowing me to appear on your show. Old friends, and yeah, hopefully we'll have you back with me in Africa soon.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm going to cut this short and start getting work to editing this, and I'll give you a call here in just a little bit.
Right. Thank you.
All
Great
right.
New
Thanks.
Year for everybody.
Tot ziens, Bob.